Ain't you sick of giving me your money?
Oh, it's... Oh. I know he didn't do it, baby.
Hold on a second. Whoa. Where you going?
No, I'm about to go make these drop balls.
Yo, welcome to the BLK Currency Podcast. I am Bradley DLO Thomas.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Opal Elisa.
What's going on? It's Corey Dashed Up Whitmore. Hey, we ain't talking about our day job and night job.
I know.
Remix.
Yeah.
We'll go back in reverse. This is Corey Whitmore. I run Media 22, Studio 22, Radio 22. That's my night and day for the most part.
Opal Elisa, I'm a director of multicultural business strategy within the financial industry by day, poet and MC by passion.
Yeah, and I am a marketing strategist by day and a biotechnology and an MC producer by night. So the gentleman that we have on our podcast today, the one thing I like about him is that he's very proactive in what he does. He reaches out and he goes after the things that he wants. And so I know he has tons of experience in the nonprofit, for-profit areas. He's a CEO of Intuition Productions. He's a global DJ. He's an Emmy Award winner. We're going to talk about that. Public speaker, published author, and he's also a filmmaker too. So I saw a couple of his flicks. I don't know if he knows about that. But without further ado, I want to introduce you to Martinez White. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. What's going on, y'all? What's cracking?
How you doing?
Let's get it.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your story. Tell us about your background. So I know you're a DJ, but everybody's got their story on how they got to where they are today. So can you kind of break that down for the listeners?
Yeah, for sure. So my background is I'm originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Grew up in a single family home, a single mom of 6 children, 5 boys and my sister. And I went to MPS high school, Milwaukee Public Schools, all my life. And I had a chance to get admitted to the University of Wisconsin as a people program student. Coming to the university on a full academic scholarship, it changed my life. Chancellor Scholarship was giving me the opportunity to not just have my tuition paid, but also my books. And room and board. So I was a People Scholar and a Chancellor Scholar. The Chancellor Scholarship is the highest academic scholarship you can have at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. So I came to campus as a 16-year-old kid. I'm 32 now. So I've been in Madison for 15 years or so. And man, my passions are really multimedia, edutainment, education, entertainment, kind of meshed together. And if you look at my Twitter, I'm at Mr. More Than a DJ because music is it's in my blood. It's the base of everything that I do. It's the way I live my life in a fluid capacity. Just really, taking the bass line, the midline, and the top line and making sure that I can blend my life experience together like a DJ would blend songs together.
Yeah.
So whatever comes to me, I'm able to take it and bend it to my benefit based on the gift of intuition. And that's what my company is, Intuition Productions. So I'm excited to be here, y'all. Let's get it. What up, Mr. Whitmore?
What's going on? Man, if Opal doesn't mind, I'm gonna jump in since he called me out. So we've talked to a lot of different people and we've tried to always figure out what happened when they were younger that kind of opened up the idea for them to enter into whether it is the business that they wanted to go into or the field they wanted to go to. And normally when we track it, there's always something that somebody had said or being around a relative or something that changed the course of where you may have been. So what is that thing that or person that talked to you or experience that you had that led you to say, hey, I'm gonna jump in this this entrepreneurship thing, and I'm gonna go full speed and not be stopped? What was that?
For me, it was losing my dad at 3 years old. My dad passed away from a heart failure at 60. My dad would be in his 90s if he was alive right now.
Okay.
My dad was Dr. O.C. White, one of the first black DJs in the 50s and 60s on radio in Milwaukee, doing his thing, man. He's a civil rights activist. Right. This brother had a PhD in philosophy and urban communications from UWM.
Nice.
A strong man, owned one of the first black vendorships and food vendors over at Summerfest. Have you ever been to Summerfest in Milwaukee?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I remember being a little kid helping my dad dip corn in the butter, all kinds of stuff. So he had a soul club. He had a club, the O.C. White Soul Club down on Old World 3rd. Well, not Old World, not that deep, but into 3rd Street, which is Martin Luther King Drive in Milwaukee. So that's where it came from, man. Like knowing that, somebody running this fast towards something is running equally oppositely as fast from something. And I think that's something for me. I think it's rooted in poverty. Really reaching beyond my environment and reaching to a higher dimension, reaching deeper to manifest my destiny. All these words, all this stuff I hadn't had language for growing up in the hood. I didn't know what the law of attraction was until I read The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. I was already out of college by then. So, or Think and Grow Rich is another book that I read by Napoleon Hill that shaped some of the way I think. And then Dr. Dennis Kimbrough wrote a black version of it called The Black Choice, Think and Grow Rich, a Black Choice. So kind of getting acquainted with that literature helped me get to where I am.
That's what's up.
Some great books. That's some great books. I forgot to mention too, everybody that's listening, y'all need to grab some notebook.
Always
pay attention to what our guests are, because they always dropping jewels. So it's your turn to grab the mic, Oprah. So
first off, your dad's story is amazing. And shouts out, I have to call out when you mentioned the People Program. I mean, the People Program has brought so many dope folks to Madison, and shouts out to Jackie DeWalt, the late leader of that, who is one of my best friend's aunts and just an amazing woman who's done stuff. So love to see when people are doing amazing who come through that program. So with that, and like with the legacy of your father, even though he passed when you were very young, I'm sure there has to be some lingering threads. So what's your philosophy for life? What comes up for you when you think about that? And especially someone who does so many things in different dimensions. What's one of those threads that keeps you going in all of those realms?
I would say that my personal mantra and my motto and the kind of the slogan and mantra for my organization, for my company, Intuition Productions, it's the belief that dreams are made to be achieved. That a dream is not meant to sit on the shelf like one of those big bags of, you get the box of cereal and then you get the bag of cereal. You're gonna leave the big bag up there for a while. You're gonna leave it up there longer than you leave the box up there.
Yeah.
So, I don't believe that my dream is supposed to sit up on the shelf. I believe it's supposed to be achieved.
Facts. Love that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was reading through your website and I really like your mission. Your mission was to empower 1 million millennials to achieve absolute success.
Hey.
And that's huge. I mean, that's, what I'm saying? Like these are the things that leaders do. And everything else comes into fruition. You also have a great PDF that I download. I was highly inspired by that. I know you're an entrepreneur, and I know that you still do have a regular 9-to-5 job too. So how do you balance both of those worlds so that you still have time to really be effective in both worlds? Like what's your way of going about that?
I think the best way to stay organized is to split your day in 4s. And every day is really 4 days for me. It's a 6 to 9. It's a 9 to 12, 12 to 3, and 3 to 6. It's kind of different days for me. And then, after hours, 6 o'clock to midnight, you got opportunities to even catch up for the next day and to get ahead for the next day. So for me, that's how I look at my day. For me, I'm looking at what can I accomplish between, those type of thresholds and intervals, and come up for air and see what else needs to be done. So I had a hard time trying to figure out how to balance entrepreneurship, having a W-2 income, having a 1099 income, being a DJ, being a community person. I had a hard time figuring that out. And what helped me the most is really realizing that I'm in control of my day, and that I've got to figure out a way to kind of reach a little bit deeper after, that 5 or 6 o'clock time frame to get prepared for the next day ahead. And I've also got to try to find a way to balance what I'm doing. So whether it's music or film or TV, that's what I have my degree in communications and radio, TV, and film. I got to find a way each day to lift each different pillar up a little bit. So I don't focus on one particular thing throughout my day. I'm looking at 3 or 4 different things to make sure that by the end of the week, everything is a high tide, lifts all ships.
I love that. Can you break down that? I think it's 6 to 9, or can you break down those numbers for us one more time? Because I think all of us on here, we're multi-hyphenates too, right? So we got a 9 to 5 somewhere, manage our creative works and our businesses. So break that down for us so we can kind of follow that, because that sounds good.
So for me, it's like 6 o'clock a.m., 6 to 9 a.m. is a day. You can get so much done between 6 and 9. And then typically people got their 9 to 5. But say if I work for myself from 6 to 9, and then I got my 9 to 5 schedule, that's going to eat up my 9 to 12, my 12 to kind of 3-ish.
Right. And
then I got time after that. When 6 o'clock come, I'm typically catching up for my day job between that 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. Then I'm back working for me at 6 p.m. to 9 or 6 to midnight or whatever it takes that day. But as I get older, I got to get to sleep by 10:30, 11 o'clock. I'm tired right now.
I heard that.
Bro, got sleep eventually, like, man.
Man, the day almost feels like a DJ trying to mix in different tracks, but mix in what the crowd is wanting at certain times. So, bro, it's like you are on the clock DJ all day.
All day. Hey, like a DJ. That's the philosophy that I had to get out of poverty. I didn't realize it until I started writing my book. Right. I got to give a shout out to Motivational MD Publishing, Dr. Jasmine Zapata. I published my book through her publishing company. Oh, and nice. Dr. Z was telling me, hey man, you got to write this down. This is a whole philosophy of leadership, the way you think. Yeah. And it's thinking like a DJ. Pick a tempo, drop your first record, feel the beat, ride the wave. Keep doing what you got to do. Keep spinning hits. Fill the dance floor with people, of your like-mindedness, and then you rocking the party. But you're not gonna get a chance to hit step 7 if you didn't wake up and pick a tempo. If you didn't envision what you want to do, if you didn't drop your first record, if you're scared to get in the game of entrepreneurship, if you don't believe dreams are made to be achieved, then this not a game for weak-minded people to take a risk on yourself. Right. It's a bet on yourself. So that's what it is. It's a 7-step process to get to rocking my party, or you can have a pity party. It's up to you.
Right. Man. I love that. That's perfect. Let me follow up with that. In entrepreneurship, there's so many peaks and valleys. It's so up and down. And a lot of what we do in here, especially when we talk about finances, and we put our own business out there a little bit and talk about some of the things that we've done wrong, but that we've learned from. Yeah. So where I'm going with that is there something that happened, a negative experience that happened, and I'm sure it has through your entrepreneurship, and would you mind sharing that and take us there and how you kind of overcame that? Because, bro, every time I see you, I don't think nothing ever bad happens, bro. You smiling, you laughing, you hugging. I'm like, man, bro is on top all the time, and I love it. Like you can feel the energy whenever you step into a room. I can feel the energy, And I think some people, especially now with Facebook and Instagram, always see that everything's good, but they don't know the journey. So is there something that our listeners could learn from, something that you had to go through and overcome?
I think one of the biggest things I learned about entrepreneurship is because I'm the guy that's going to take care of everybody else first. I'm raised by a single black mom. Like, I'm gonna feed the kids before I eat. I'm gonna taste the meat and potatoes as I'm cooking it. Then I'm almost full by the time I'm done cooking. But I'm not gonna take the first plate.
Right.
Initially, as I grew in my entrepreneurship, I realized that idea of paying yourself first, that's key. That's key. So, paying everybody else time, talent, and resources, because you can give up time, you can give up your monetary value, or you can give resources. Paying everybody else and being in everybody else's circle of influence, or worried about God business or other people's business, and not taking care of my business, and then my business left to falter. So I really gotta, I had to learn that in the health space, in the financial space, in the spiritual space. Like, take care of your boy, because if I'm not set, if I'm not intact, what's gonna happen to the kids? Not to say that my clients are kids, but I have a love ethic that I work on and that I work with through Bell Hooks teachings. I work through a love ethic and a passion and a intuitive spirit. That's what my company is, Intuition Productions. So if I don't have an intuition, how can I give to someone else?
Right.
So that's what I would say is really looking at paying yourself first. That means as an entrepreneur, typically we'll spend our money first on product or ideas, or we'll spend our money on marketing. We pour our money into I should get a building, or I should buy more merchandise. We don't think about what we ate for breakfast that morning.
Right.
We don't think about that I take time to be mindful about my choices today by meditating and envisioning what I'm going to do today. So when I get there, it's not like I'm there for the first time. It's just like a DJ. When I go to a party, I ain't been there. This ain't my first time being in this space. Even if it's a new building, a new client, I've been here mentally before, because I know what my intentions are when I hit the door. So I got to take care of me first. That way, when I get in the space where I can be fruitful, I can do it better if I've already seen and picked the tempo and decided if I want to start at 66 beats per minute when I play my first song, or 120 beats per minute. What do I want to bring? What does the client expect of me? If I'm doing a wedding, what do they really want? What do they really want from me? If I'm doing a corporate event, like, what do they really desire? What are they trying to pull from me? What is the need that I need to meet? So when I get there, it's not like this is the first time that I'm sitting there. So by the time you see me, Corey, or anytime you see me out, Opal, I've already decided what I'm going to do when I get there, but I leave space for God to work with me, because God is my partner. He's my business partner.
Right.
So I got a vision for the album I want to drop. Think of Drake in the studio. He got a vision for what he wants the album to sound like, but through the process, you might get new hunches. You might get new ideas. You might say, Jay-Z might say, I want this album to be called The Final Album. And then by the time he does, he's like, man, this got to be called 444. Because of the signals and the connections that I have to the ultimate creator, because we all borrow from the ultimate creator.
Yep.
All creative people borrow from that energy. The person, the entity that created the stars, the moon, the sky, all the planets, the grass, the sea, we all pull from that energy. That's a book I read called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and she talks about it's a spiritual guide to creativity. I read this book when I was broke. I was working at Kohl's. I had my degree and everything. I was selling jewelry at Kohl's, but I had to see what I wanted to do next and envision it, manifest it.
I love that. That's beautiful. That reminds me of, like, I know Quincy Jones is known for saying, like, when they ask him why he's so good, he's like, I always leave room for God to come in the room and add something to the track and to the stuff that he does. I also really loved hearing you talk about, like, paying yourself first and making sure, like, that you're filling your cup before you're pouring into others. That's something I've heard, like, in Black women's movement, something that we've started to take back, but it's really refreshing to hear a Black man say that too, because it's absolutely, y'all got to do that too. And I hope that continues to be, you know, more common practice and more commonplace, because you've got to strengthen yourself for sure. So when we're thinking about like when you go back and you talk about that business and you have so many different talents and avenues, how did you decide to like start your business and pick the production company, and what kind of led you to that, and what steps did you take with that?
I ain't gonna even lie. So I was just making beats. In my sister's closet, me and my homeboy, we was recording. We was like Andre 3000, Big Boy. We was like Outkast. We was recording in the closet. We had a little video mic. It didn't even have a pop filter on it. We wrapped like some tissue around it or something and taped it up. We had it hanging in a little closet, and that's where we was. You know, I was making beats on Fruity Loops. I invite my boy over. We, you know, we doing the DLO. We down. You know, we in the studio. You know, we. You know, conglomerating, pulling it together, coalescing, and that's how it started. Was just making music, producing beats, and I was thinking to myself, I think I was probably about 13 or something like that. I was thinking to myself, you know, what's the brand or what's the feel? What can I call this? It's got to be a production, because I'm producing something, I'm making something,
right?
And my uncle always told me, you know, the producers make the most money, so you don't want to just be an actor or an artist. You want to kind of have some level of production credit in your work. So, you know, I come from a certain cloth of, you know, men, and that's been entrepreneurs in their own right in different ways. And my uncles and my cousins always taught me that, like, have ownership over what you're doing. Have partners, but you own the epicenter.
Right.
And that's what I came up with. I'm a producer. I'm making something. I'm creating something. And then intuition was naturally, you know, a word that I liked, that I fell in love with, and it became Intuition Productions. Dreams are made to be achieved.
Nice. Yeah, we are all artists, and we can totally relate to everything you say. And I just want to, before I pass the mic, I just want to say too, like, the reality of you saying, like, I had a degree and I was broke working at Kohl's. Like, that's something we don't talk about, especially like in our community, because education is held on such a pillar, which I truly believe in. Education changed my entire life, the trajectory of my life, my daughter's life. But we don't talk about the fact that I myself too, you be broke as hell with a degree for a minute, and it takes a whole different kind of wherewithal to have achieved that dream, right, of education, and still not have it come in. So I appreciate you kind of bringing it up and saying that, because that has definitely been a part of my struggle, and I think all of ours on here. And it just, you got to keep pushing through it.
Yeah, because I think education taught me entitlement. It taught me that you know, you're gonna go to college, get a great education, a big degree, and you're gonna change the world, you're gonna get your mom out of poverty, you're gonna do all these different things. When that didn't happen right away, it scared me, you know. And then I realized that nobody owe me, I owe me.
Right.
You know, nobody don't owe me anything. Like, the dream ain't, Oprah just not gonna come. How many times have I sent the video to Oprah talking about Oprah come get me off my mama couch?
Okay.
How many times did my grandma take that VHS tape to the post office and say, baby, just in that yellow paper I was writing them letters on to Oprah and send it out? You know, we need Oprah to call us, and we need Coles to call us right now.
Right.
Yes.
Nice.
So that's what I learned. That's one of the mistakes I made, is chasing a dream instead of attracting it. Instead of getting on the wavelength and the frequency of the things I desire, I was hoping and wishing. It was this fake manifestation. Right. It was this fake law of attraction. But what you really got to do is fight to stay on a certain wavelength and frequency. You know, a frequency of faith, really a frequency of belief, and a wavelength of success. You got to constantly stay up there. Life gonna naturally pull you down. So you got to, you know, get into a space where you controlling your emotive sphere. No matter what's going on around you, they take a lot of work. You know, I'm a meditator. I work out. You know, I take the time to listen to music that I think is dope. I was listening to the new Nas album, Magic, today. I'm like, okay, Nas, doing something with this. Right. 1 and 2 is hot. This is hot too. So it's about, you know, reaching for it, going for it.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there with the entitlement thing. I remember having that degree in my hand, thinking like on the stage, like, yeah, it's about to go down, and I'm still broke. I like the fact you mentioned meditation too. So, like, do you meditate? Like, how often do you meditate? Do you meditate? I read a book about Russell Simmons, and he's talking about meditation in that book. Do you do it twice a day, or do you do it? Like how do you do it, and are there ways that people can kind of get into meditation? Because I think it's very important.
Who meditate? Raise your hand if you meditate.
For sure.
I'm late, bro. I'm late.
I'm not consistent, to be real. I'm not consistent, but I try. You know what I'm saying?
I'm late.
You ever tried it, Corey?
Once. I didn't know what I was doing.
So I got into it heavy last year. Honestly,
okay.
The pandemic was really going heavy.
Yep.
I was like, bro, I got to find a way to kind of calm my mind, because it's a muscle and it's doing its own work all the time. It's, when I'm asleep, my heart still beat. When I'm out, taking a run, my lungs are going to take in more air. I'm not necessarily consciously doing that. But, if my brain stopped, then my heart stopped. So my brain been working since inception, or what would I say, conception, since I've been, born, and been building my body and been building my existence, this physical form, taking this abstract realm and making it a concrete reality. This body is only natural, not supernatural. It's been working. It's gonna get old. I mean, some of the people you love, I'm watching Will Smith. I'm like, Will Smith do look 51. Right. He look young at 51. He don't look like the Fresh Prince Will Smith.
Right.
Your body is gonna change. So for me, I had to figure out how to stay, centered on this business of me. I'm a business. I'm the CEO of me. I got to figure out how to run this company. Right. And the Bible talks about all of that. Your body is a temple, and you got to put energy towards yourself. You got to eat decently. You got to work out a little bit. That's what I had to learn. Meditation came to me through this app. I use this app called Liberate. I don't do solo meditations because my mind's too busy. So I do guided meditation. I watched the documentary. I'm the documentary buff. Those are the films I make, all docs. I was watching Ava DuVernay stuff, and I was watching all this documentaries, Homecoming, Beyonce. I'm watching all this stuff, and then I picked up. It's a documentary called Guided Meditation, and the meditation guys. He basically said that if you meditate for 8 weeks straight, and you consistent with it. And then you change the neuroplasticity in your brain. So, your brain is made up of a whole bunch of stuff. I'm not the neuroscientist, but I know that you have a synapse and you have these connectors in your brain, and you have different parts of your brain, like your amygdala, that is your fight or flight response. And then you got other parts of your brain, your frontal lobe and your cerebral cortex, things like that can, create positive energy for you. Documentary said if you meditate for 8 weeks straight, the negative parts of your brain get smaller, and the bigger parts of your brain get big. The positive parts get bigger. So you naturally respond to the police pulling you over differently. You don't really trip. You don't say like, oh crap. You say like, how can I be in control of me right now?
Right.
How can I watch my movements? Things of that sort. You respond differently to things that normally create a red flag, that create that fight or flight response.
Sure. Yeah.
You start to respond in a different, calmer way to it. Somebody want to argue with you, somebody want to push your buttons, then you realize that you in control of it. So that's what helped me is this. I use this app. This is a Black meditation app. It's called Liberate. It's free.
Okay.
Or $1 or something like that a month.
Right.
It's made by a Black man. And I just go right on my phone. I go through the different types. I do ones for mindfulness. I do one for masculinity, and it's the thing that gave me the most control over my life, because what I'm really doing is going inside of Martinez, and I'm shining light on dark parts of myself, different areas of myself that I'm not comfortable with, or that I'm afraid to present, or experiences that happened to me, like my dad dying as a little boy. Oftentimes, the deeper I get into meditation, I get to the space where I see the 5-year-old Martinez losing his dad, freaking out, crying, screaming, kicking teachers, being bad as, all get out, disrespecting the teachers and making my mom name look bad, just kind of freaking out. That fight or flight, that early childhood trauma. We got to look at that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what meditation helped me do. It helped me sit back, observe my thoughts, and let them be as they are, without judging myself. and then I can heal myself and reveal my wealth.
Nice.
Well, yeah, that will be quoted, brother.
Yes.
Right.
So we often we talk about how much money is a mindset, right? Like that comes up in some form in all of our different episodes. And we've read, many of us have read like Jen Sincero, you are a badass and you are a badass at making money. And like, that's the biggest thing, that mindset piece. And for me, like it was totally a switch that had to flip for me about money. Similar, spending the majority of my life in poverty and really having to switch it like before the money came, right? Like working hard work of my whole life. But once I switched it, then it really started to come. How has that been the same for you, that you've really had to like use mindfulness around financial things when it comes to your businesses or 9 to 5 too?
Yeah, for sure. I think that so working in finance, I realized that money it's just currency. It's an electric flow to it. Money does attract money, just like attract like, or a negative mindset attract more negative stuff. You stub your foot on the table and you stub your pinky toe, and the next thing you know, you cussing, you screaming. Next thing you know, you done drop something. Next thing you know, you're late for work. Next thing you know, your coffee spilling on you. Yep. That's all wavelength. We in control of that. I can respond how I want to the scenario. That's what meditation teach me. That I can respond to life how I want to. I've gotten more successful financially as I have learned to let things go. As I let stuff go, I allow more room for flow. I cannot grab my past and my future at the same time. I'm gonna be stretched too thin. I gotta grab the future with both hands. I gotta look at, I can't just always look at my history. I gotta look towards my destiny. That's only gonna happen with a clearer third eye, with a clearer vision, clear energy. That all happens through the law of attraction. I get on the wavelength of the thing that I desire, and then it presents itself. Asking, you shall receive. Seeking, you shall find. Knocking, the door will be answered. That's what they're talking about.
Yep.
Don't chase it, attract it. Become what it is that you desire. You already are who you desire to be. If you want to be a writer, you want to create a show on HBO, whatever the network may be, it don't matter who called you, but eventually you're going to take Awkward Black Girl and turn it into Insecure.
Thanks.
Right.
So you got to find a way to, get into that space of, what do I really want? Why do I really want this? Why this important to me? What it mean to everybody else? How can I be a vessel for the ultimate creator to use my creative force to bring more people towards the light and less people, being left in the dark? Because for me, I think that darkness only exists in the absence of light, really. Darkness is only there if I cut the light off. If I don't, if you can't measure darkness. You can't say it's 300 kilowatts of darkness, but you can say that about light. So turn the light on. What's your light bulb? What's your light bulb idea? What's your candlelight that, people that back in the day, they used to put candles on the Christmas tree and then they was burning the tree down. Then some guy tried 10,000 times to make a light bulb, to create a filament. It might take you 10,000 tries to take your candlelight idea and make it into a light bulb, and then you change the world forever. Now we got incandescent light. We got all kind of stuff. From that one idea, from that one person, it changed culture forever. So you got to really look at, what is my candlelight? What is the thing that burns my wick? What is the flame inside for me? For me, it's dreams are made to be achieved. It's the little black boy that fell apart when my dad died. I couldn't believe it. I still don't believe it. I still don't believe it. If I saw my dad, that was 30 something years ago. If I saw my dad on the street today, I would know him from any other person on the street by stature, by shoulders. I remember looking up at him. I remember having a conversation with him. I remember him winking at me, pointing at me. Then this old school suit wearing guy. I remember that stuff. If I see him out there, I know who he is by name, by face, by energy. So I think that's what we got to do, is just key into a higher frequency of faith and ride that wavelength and think like a DJ. Be in masterful control of your records. The stuff that's happening to you, blend that stuff together. Everybody got stuff. Blend it together so you can have a song and you can create a dance floor, get a dream circle of people who believe in your circle of business, and you surround that. You get that people to surround. Y'all know LeBron James. Y'all know how he do what he do. It ain't LeBron is like 20 people. Drake ain't just one person. It's like 50 Drakes on his team.
Right.
So how do you make that happen? You know, we can know Oprah, we know Gail. But you got to get you a Gail.
Right. So I know that we talked about some things that you went through with entrepreneurship and things that you learned. I know much of this audience that tunes in is at a point where they may have, they may just have that 9 to 5 right now, but their mindset is now starting to make that change. And they're looking, whether it is possibly into investing or real estate or entrepreneurship right now. What would you tell them would be a good starting point if they said, I got my 9 to 5, I can set aside a little money here and there. I really want to get into entrepreneurship. Where would you recommend be the starting block for them to start to go down that path of entrepreneurship?
I think you have to just start at once. That's one of the lines I learned. I'll never forget that when I read that in the Napoleon Hill book, Think and Grow Rich. I was living in Miami. One of my homeboys, Sekou, from Madison, is a music producer. And he was doing Teach for America. And I was sleeping on this couch trying to make something happen, you know. And I was reading that book, and the book basically said just start at once. Begin at once. Whatever the desire is. If you say you're a writer, then you must write. If you're a DJ, then you must DJ. If you're a public speaker, then go do a speech somewhere. So for me, it's about, building that momentum.
Right.
Not being afraid of your dream. There's this thing called the tree shadow that, the shadow of the tree is only as big as the tree. We so focused on the shadow, we scared to build the tree.
Right.
We so scared of what might come. Illuminati might get me. I want to get into the music, or I might get into a space where I can't control the environment around me. You and God are business partners, so you work with that energy. You believe in that. You figure that part out. You got to start doing it. It's the perfect time in history for another a second Harlem Renaissance. You want to play the trumpet. You want to Miles Davis. You want to Coltrane. Pick up your instrument. Let's get to it. But people so afraid of what other people may say and think. That's one of the downfalls I had. What people may think if I get successful. What people may think if I do win. That's a subconscious fear. What if I do get it? I had somebody ask me one time, what if you want to be a millionaire? What would you do with $1 million if I wrote you a check today? You can't be like, I don't know.
Right.
You can't be like, I don't know. I had to think about it for a day or two. Now you scared the money away because money is currency. Money is electric flow. It's energy. It's going to go and attract itself to things that are like that same frequency. So you got to be on that wavelength. You got to have already thought, man, if you write me $1 million check, I'm trying to do the Nipsey Hussle.
Right.
I'm trying to do what I can do with it. So you cannot just, that's not going to come by osmosis. You got to pour into yourself. You got to pick that tempo. You got to decide where I'm going to start. What do I want to do? You got to be flexible. You got to be able to keep spinning hits and ride the wave when stuff going up and down, the wavelength changing. It is really a lot of psychology to being a successful DJ. I don't know who you like the most. I like Kid Capri.
Yeah.
You always want to. I ain't never been to a kid party, but I feel like I know him because I know his wavelength and his frequency. So when I meet him, I'm gonna meet him as such.
Right.
And I'm gonna be nervous and scared. I might get one word out, but I'm gonna say something good. You know what I mean? We love Beyonce. We love seeing her bounce back from having twins. And remember, Beyonce was leaning back at the boys with twins. I said, don't let her fall. It's that frequency, it's that wavelength, it's that energy, that we want to attract ourselves to. These people are not superhuman. They're not supernatural. They live in a natural realm like you and I. They have access to the same energies and availabilities of the ultimate creator as you and I.
Right.
How do we pour into that and get more out of it? You get out what you put in. One of my best friends is a Grammy-nominated music producer. I seen this dude living in his car. I like nowhere to stay. And now this dude got a Grammy, he got a Grammy nomination through the work he's done. his name is Business Boy, Andre Robertson.
Mm-hmm.
We brought Biz to Madison a couple years ago.
Yep.
That's what he talk about. His phrase and his whole thing is tunnel vision.
Right.
Keep your blinders on. That don't mean ignore everything else. That mean focus enough on what you need to so it can come towards you. Right. That's what tunnel vision is. Everything is going to happen. I'm sure he been hungry. I'm sure even when we brought Biz to Madison, one thing I learned about him, even then, I'm like, don't you want to go to the after party? He came to like 20, 25 minutes. He said, I'm going back to the hotel. I got some music to make.
Yep, yep.
Now he got music with Rihanna. He didn't have that 2-3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now he got songs out there, with bigger artists and he reaching higher.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a studio in LA and hung out with him. While I'm sitting there kicking it with him and talking to him, he on the computer sifting through more beats. Like this gonna come out, this gonna come out.
Right.
Check this out. An hour and a half go by. And White, I got to run. I got to go to Coachella. I said, man, I ain't even get a visit, bro. But I learned from people like that I've seen truly, in this country, we got an opportunity to go from rags to riches. When I lived in Kenya, I volunteered for Alicia Keys Hospital in Nairobi, Kenya, the Bomo Medical Clinic. The 2/3 of the world is living in extreme poverty, which means you get 1 meal a day. I can't imagine that one day it's rice and beans, like they say the next day it's beans and rice. And that's all you're gonna get, right? So if we living in a developed country and we living in what some consider the first world, and we have access, and our ancestors poured their blood on the streets for us to be able to walk those same streets, right? It's a disservice and it's blasphemy. It's blasphemy to our legacy and to those people who never gonna see this dream manifest, because we the dream of a slave in this country as Black people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the dream of Dr. King. That's the dream of dreams are made to be achieved. Intuition Productions. That's the energy I bring to my shop on State Street, the Dream Shop. The address is 444. I said that ain't true. 444 State Street. I said that ain't true, God. Ain't that good. God, that good though. You pour into it, it gives back to you.
Beautiful.
True that. Yeah, and I would say you just came to Madison just a little bit too late. You're a little bit younger than us, I think, because Kid Capri was here mid-2000s, early mid-2000s.
I missed him.
Yes.
I'm
a fan too. He is amazing. He is amazing.
My personal Kid Capri is the guy that taught me how to DJ. DJ Dave Muhammad.
Oh, that's my homie right there.
That's my homie too.
That's my Kid Capri, my DJ Dave Muhammad.
Yeah,
I
he
joined
did a lot
Alpha
for
Phi
hip hop
Alpha
in this
because
city.
of him and all kinds of stuff. What'd you say, Opal?
I was just saying he did a lot for hip hop in this city for sure.
He did, and he's genuine, and he got this spirit about him. Yeah, and that's what inspired me to join Alpha Phi Alpha. Was I didn't even know Dave was in the fraternity. I'm like, this Puerto Rican dude playing all this black music. Like, who is this dude? Like, dude playing all the black music, and he in the first black fraternity, and he a brother in the nation. I'm like, how is this all possible? So it's this hybridity. It's just where we are in history. You can't be one dimensional. You got to be multi-hyphenated.
Right.
That's a fact.
Everything is a hybrid. Everything is a blend. Everything around you is this and that. Left and right brain. So why not strengthen that? Why not give more to yourself so you can get more out of yourself and give more to the world? Because we all but one part of the body of Christ anyway. I might be the best left hand. Opal might be the best right hand. I can't do everything. I got to figure out what part of the body am I. Am I the eyes? Am I the nose of Christ? Am I the lips? What am I? And then I gotta believe in it. I gotta invest in that, and it's gonna come back. It's boomerang success. I'm gonna throw this out there. I'm gonna throw this boomerang out, and it's gonna come back towards us.
I love that.
That's dope. That's dope. Man, so by being here in Madison, and I haven't been here quite as long as everyone else, but I think the first 2 years I was almost in observation mode. I was just looking and see how everybody moves and who's connected with who and things of that sort. But when I came, as I said earlier, when I came across you always seemed to, wherever you were, it was an event. And you did an amazing job and still do an incredible job of, if you're going to see me out, you know it's going down and it's going to be a party, and you don't want to miss it. If you missing it, then I ain't got nothing for you. But you want to show up. And my question to you is for other people that are looking to either try to get into some of the businesses or things that you've done, or are looking to try and do events and market themselves, what knowledge or what skills would you pass on to them to say, hey, if you're going to do something, you're going to put together an event, you may want to think about this, or you may want to start incorporating these things. But you've been masterful at that. At least from my time being in here in Madison. So if you had any tips or things to share with folks, we'd love to hear them.
Mm-hmm.
I would say build the first snowball so you can get to a snowman. Like, do that work. Get your hands in the snow. It's gonna be cold. You might not even have I didn't have a lot of gloves growing up. I had makeshift mittens, and my mom had 6 kids, so you might put on a pair of socks on your hands and go outside and play. And stop running in and out. You let the heat out.
Right. Yep.
So you gotta build that first snowball. And I think so many people are afraid of doing that. That's the key.
Right.
Because once you get addicted to what it means to pour into yourself, then you turn into Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. You're like, look at this dude, man. Is he stronger about a minute? You look at Kevin Hart, you like, look at Kevin Hart, bro. Is the comedian really like the man?
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's abstract, stuff, but everything starts in an idea. Everything was an idea. Everything was impossible until it's not anymore.
Right.
Everything was a candlelight on a tree, and then it had to be turned into a light bulb. But it took 10,000 tries. What try are you on? What number are you on?
Word.
I'm asking yourself, like I had to stop saying, I did all of this. Martinez, you did this, did that, this, that, and the other, and it still didn't work. I had to start asking myself, what haven't I done? And do that. I got to say, what haven't I done yet? I know you know what they feel like, Corey, to say, I want to start a radio program. I want to start a business. I want to start a brand. And then you start thinking about what can I do? Opal, you're an MC. I know you think about, how can I make the best line? How can I make this sound better? You can't say, oh, I said all of this on my last album. You got to say, what haven't I said yet? What parts of myself haven't I seen yet? What can I, and that's what we got to do. We got to start digging in that space. That's the most fearful space, is to know you got a dream and to feel like you can't get it out, or you fearful of getting it out.
Right.
That's the scary part. You're going to get resistance anyway. You might as well start now, because the faster you go towards something, the resistance is equal and oppositely as fast. It's like a sonic boom. If you a plane or a jet, the faster you go, you're going to get equal and opposite wind resistance. Right. You got to break through that. You got to have a breakthrough, and you're only going to do that by continuing to go that direction and have that sonic boom where you transcend the speed of sound. You're going faster than the speed of sound. Now it's a cloud around you. Right. Yeah. That's what you got to do. That's how I see stuff. Right. That's and some people might say like that's fluff, or that's too abstract. That's how I got where I am. It's thinking like a DJ. It's thinking of myself in masterful control of the turntables of life. I'm standing in the booth of life. People out there waiting on me. Imagine if you don't get your dream out. Right. What the people gonna do? They ain't gonna have no Opal. What they gonna do? They won't have nothing. They won't have no DLO. They waiting on you to give them the vibe.
Right.
Right.
So offer them the vibe.
Right.
And then you build a circle of people who believe in it, become a culture. And culture is meaning plus people. Once you get people to have a certain meaning, then you got a culture. And then you got, your fans. Your fans become your friends, and then they become your family. Take your fans and turn them into family. The Beehive, you better not say nothing bad about
facts on facts. Right. Don't speak on the queen.
You better not say nothing bad about her. If I know Beyonce around no black women, it ain't gonna happen. It's gonna be a big argument because they her family.
Right.
You got people who in the Drake tribe, you got people who in the Cardi B vibration, the Megan Thee Stallion. No matter what happened. Energy pulled her down a year or two ago with somebody shooting her, right?
Right.
I saw her at Summerfest this past year. Her frequency's still up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to fight this resistance. It's going to be resistance anyway. People going to hate anyway. They, like my mom said, they hated Jesus Christ. What make you think they not going to hate you? You ain't, Jesus didn't commit one sin. And I know I done some bad stuff. So what make me think that resistance is not going to come? That's arrogance. That's egocentrism. We got to get out of that and say, let's put this out. Let's get this album out. Let's test the market.
I love all of that. Like, you drop so many gems up in there. Like, especially, I really hope people sit with and get with that piece. If you said, like, just make the snowball, like, you're going to get your hands cold. And it is the fear. Like, that is totally the difference between people who are actually doing something with their dream and folks who are just talking about it. It is totally like, put yourself and your stuff out there. So I love that. And you've mentioned it a couple times, to think like a DJ. So we gotta hit on that book. And you said it, you published it with Dr. Jasmine Zapata. She is brilliant. I had the pleasure of moderating a panel she was on. She's so awesome. So yeah, tell us a little bit about that book.
Yeah, so I wrote this book at the beginning of the pandemic. It's called Think Like a DJ, 7 Steps to Spin Poverty into Prosperity. And it's a self-help book. By the time you get done reading my book, you started writing your own book, because we got different sections of the book that you can start writing your 7 gifts, skills, talents, and abilities that you naturally born with, you know, that God poured into you. How can you use that to monetize your gift? What can you do? And then you got dream pages in the back where you start writing. You know, oftentimes when I'm reading books, I want to write in the book on the margins and stuff. Well, you got dream pages in the back of my book where you can start manifesting your own dream. The last 20 pages or so of my book is for you as the reader. So each book is going to be customized by the time you get done reading it. And it's a mindset. It's a 7-step process to get to rocking your party. But you're not going to get a chance to rock your party if you can't pick a tempo.
Right.
If you can't decide and point your feet in the direction of your destiny, that's what took me a lot of time, because I feel like I was scared of what I really wanted to do because it seemed too big. It seemed too grand. It seemed like, why would I just start a radio show or a radio podcast and have my own app? Mr. Whitmore, Corey got his own app.
Okay.
You know what I mean? How could I make that happen? You know, you have hunches, you have ideas. You got to put it out there. You know what I mean? You got to test the market and see what's working, what's not. And then you just reevaluate over time, rinse and repeat. And then you get better at dropping projects.
Now, is that book, where can they get that book? Can they get that off your website?
Yep, MartinezWhite.com. You can get it from MartinezWhite.com. Go on there and click buy my book. It'll be one of the first things that pop up. If you cannot afford the book, just get the free e-workbook. I think DLO was talking about that earlier. Get the free e-workbook and just start building your dream. And one thing I'll do is anybody that see this podcast, anybody that's keying into Black currency, I offer you the opportunity to get 50% off my project, off my book. Just type in when you go and like do, you know, get the coupon code and you type in, you know, at checkout, just type in repowerment. Re-empowerment instead of empowerment. That's the absence of power. That's assuming that women ain't got no power. Women's empowerment. You're gonna give her something she don't already got inherently. So it's a repower. Let's charge ourselves back up. Let's plug ourselves back up to the machine of achievement. You can always charge your iPhone back up. You can always get your dream reignited. You need to be repowered. So type in repowerment and then you'll get 50% off the book. Or come shop with me on State Street at 444 State Street at the Dream Shop and get some of this dream merchandise like that. T-shirts and all kinds of fun stuff. Meditation candles that my sister actually created in Texas. She sent them all the way up here, hand poured, you know, handcrafted candles that I use when I meditate. They just give me that aromatherapy.
Oh, that's what's up.
I'm gonna have to come get some of those myself right there, because I definitely like candles when I meditate. That's dope. Thank you for that. That is a beautiful gift to our listeners. So thank you.
Yes, it is. That's
you.
love. We also love picking the brain of our guests to see what they may be reading or something that has touched them, you know, in the last, you know, couple of months or so that they may want to share with the viewers to try to steer them after they get your book, steer them to the next spot and where they may need to get some knowledge.
Yeah, I would say one of the books that changed my life was this book called The 4 Agreements.
Oh, yes.
That's a good one.
Oh, you got to. I read that thing. I reread it every 2 years. Yes.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's short too. It's
really short. You can read it in a day or two.
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend the 4 Agreements. The one I was talking to my business partner about today is don't assume. Don't make assumptions, because it's 4 agreements, and the first one is be impeccable with your word. You like Grandma said. Grandma told me this stuff before they gave me the book. You know?
Grandma had the insight on the book.
That's what she said. Be impeccable with your word. You know, say what you mean and mean what you say.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's be impeccable with your word. Don't inflate. Don't deflate. Just say what it is. Make it plain, as the brother say. Make it plain.
Right.
But that second one, don't make assumptions.
Yes.
Ask. That's the one that I had the hardest challenge. That was my biggest challenge. It's assuming and building a story out of my pain, body. They ain't messing with me because I'm black.
Right.
They ain't messing with me because I'm a man.
Right.
They ain't messing with me because I'm dark skinned or I'm tall or I'm short to these guys, or I'm skinny, I'm a stick. They ain't messing with me because I'm thin. They ain't messing with me because I'm fat now. They ain't messing with me. You know, I made up all this stuff.
Yeah, I can't win.
I can't win. And then you creating this narrative, and it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You start to live the energy that you putting out.
That's great.
So if you want to live a better existence, you gotta don't assume, just ask.
Right.
Even with yourself, don't assume you're gonna manifest your destiny or walk into this law of attraction by osmosis. Oprah ain't coming to get you off your couch. I'm still sitting here. She ain't knocked on me yet. She ain't knocked on my door yet. So it's about, don't make assumptions about your goals and your dreams and your visions. Ask yourself what it is that you really want out of this life. Y'all know life is short, it's quick.
Yeah.
It's quick, and we got to get to the point where we can walk away from work. Black people, we got to walk away from work 65, 70 years old. We might live until we 90 or 100. We need 30 years worth of income every month.
Yeah.
Without running out of income. And we got to leave some for the next generation.
Right.
Intergenerational wealth. That ain't going to happen by sitting back, making up a story. You got to get out there. Don't make assumptions. Just ask yourself what it is that you really want, why you want it, and take time to figure that out.
Right.
Yeah.
The 4 Agreements. I would recommend that Don Ruiz, DonRuiz.
Yep.
I would check that one. And then they think like a DJ. Come on, y'all.
That's right.
You already know.
I think like a DJ for sure.
You already know.
Let's get it.
So you are also an Emmy Award winner. Can you talk about that a little bit? Because that's not every day right there at all.
That Emmy. So when I was in high school, I write about this in my book. When I was in high school, I used to go to all these after school programs, YMCA Black Achievers. I'm over at the Sponsor a Scholar program. I'm over at the Boys and Girls Club just to stay out of the way.
Right.
And I was at this program called Strive Media Institute. I read this magazine called the Gumbo Magazine. It had Nick Cannon on the cover. I'm like, man, Nick Cannon at that time, he was big. He was like first dude, owning, being the CEO of Nickelodeon or whatever. Youngest CEO. I'm like, that's crazy. I couldn't believe it.
Right.
So I read the magazine, Gumbo Magazine. I'm like, oh, this is right down the street on Martin Luther King on 3rd Street, where my dad used to have his soul club. So this is how it started to come to you. This ain't my design. This is divine design, right?
Yes.
So I go over there. I'm like, man, y'all got some. Can I sign up? Can I be a writer on the magazine or something? I felt that frequency of Nick Cannon on that cover. I read the article. I like that. Can I be involved a little bit? And they welcomed me in, and I started writing for the magazine. And then from there, they had a TV show called Gumbo TV. So what I'm chasing is chasing me now. So now I graduated from the magazine. Now I'm in the TV department doing Gumbo television. They teaching me how to edit my own stuff. They teaching me how to write scripts. They teaching me how to shoot with a camera, be a videographer, how to hold my breath and do the pan with my body, because I ain't got no, I ain't got no
right.
I got to get that right.
Right.
So that's how it happened. And I started doing that work, and I got an Emmy for outstanding children's programming. As associate producer.
Wow.
We produced the program Gumbo Television. It's a nationally syndicated show. I got to give a shout out to Mr. Matthew Johnson, one of the first Black successful brothers that I met, that I just like, this man like 6'4", this big Black guy. I'm like, this dude is smart, bro.
Right.
To start this program for these kids.
Yeah.
Right.
We weren't always good kids. We was just, sometimes we just come to eat the pizza.
Right.
We just come to Ether P and Matt like y'all got to do some editing. Y'all got to do this. You got to. If you're gonna be here, don't waste your time because other people sponsoring you to be here, and this ain't free, and this it's still a business. So that's how I got my Emmy through Strive Media Institute and Gumbo Television for outstanding children's programming for associate producer on the Gumbo Television show. And then they had us producing commercials. They came out with TVs on the buses. And then we started making commercials for the buses.
Right.
So they just started finding us.
Right.
That's amazing.
Incredible.
Like I got chills like listening to you. Like I get chills like people on this show, man, be coming through. It was not the first time I got chills. I definitely got chills when you talk about seeing the image of Nick Cannon on there like that. Just like you say, that is totally like divine intervention. And to say then what I was chasing started chasing me. Like beautiful. That is amazing.
Come on now. You felt you got that Lauryn Hill back there. You got that
don't get me started. I almost got kicked out of a church band for saying Lauryn Hill was a prophet. She go to hell. I'm like, nah, she's a prophet. Don't get me started. Yeah, it's divine.
I'm done with y'all. That's what it is. Black currency. I see what you got back there, Corey.
Man.
It's that frequency, it's that energy, man.
Yes, 110%. And it's a lot. It's what the guests, like yourself that are bringing and what the listeners are feeling and vibing off as well. I mean, it's just been every episode has just been incredible. As Opal said, I mean, you learn so much. You leave inspired. You get ideas. Just sitting here taking notes, just listening. And I know DLO had to handle some business, but he was like, man, I don't even want to leave.
Yeah, he said he want to leave.
I'm trying not to leave. I have this responsibility right now. I'd still be on. So it's been incredible, and we're so thankful that we were able to link up and have you be a part of this show, and the amount of knowledge you shared with us and the inspiration is it's incredible. We can't thank you enough, bro.
Yes,
man, thank y'all. Thank y'all. This is where we are. We in a new Black Renaissance, and somebody got to be Cicely Tyson. Somebody got to be Quincy Jones. Yep. Somebody got to figure out where you at right now. Let's look at history. People say, I remember the good old days. These are the good old days for us.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We in them right now. So let's not waste this time, this gift of life that God has given us. I got a 5-year-old boy. Anybody on the call got children,
oh yeah,
that child is a gift. And we all got a mama. We somebody's baby.
Right.
So you a gift. Work in that gift. Figure out what are the things that God naturally gave you. As He make us all in His image and likeness. What do I have? Can I create something from nothing? Can I make something beautiful? Can I do something for people and then leave it behind? Because we all going back where we came from.
Right. Y'all heard it here.
Okay. Black Renaissance.
Martinez White, Black Currency Podcast. Now, before we head out, I know y'all are going to work your way over to that website. Y'all going to go and order that book. So make sure you hit that up. Can you put out that address again on State Street where they can actually come and see y'all in person?
Yeah, come vibrate with me on the weekends. I'm there on the weekends, Saturday, Sundays, 12 to 6. It's 444 State Street. You can't miss it. 444 State. It's right by Lisa Link Park, the small park that's right there, right across the street from Hawks. They got a new beautiful mural on the side of the building right now. Go on and come on, hang out with us. It's supported by the Madison Black Chamber of Commerce. Shouts out to the Madison Black Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
And the city of Madison. And it's a beautiful space. And we're going to expand from there. And we're just going to reach deeper and reach higher. And we're going to play new records. We're going to give new vibrations. We're going to drop new beats. And we're going to see what's in store for us. So
that's what's up. And I know you got an event coming up. In February from what I saw.
Come on out. Come on and rock with us, man. So we do R&B Ladies Nights. Love Zone. We do the Love Zone. So we got Love Zone 5 and 6 coming up.
Yep.
It's R&B Ladies Night. So you can catch us on the 19th. Come on and party with us at 10 o'clock. You know how we get down in the evening hours. Come on and party with us. It's at 219. February 19th, we'll be at the Lazy Oath The Lazy Oaf Lounge, right off of it's right on. You can't miss it. It's on Stoughton Road, University and Stoughton Road. Make a left if you're going east. Make a right if you're going west. Onto Stoughton Road. And come party with us. Got a huge event, ladies' night, R&B type of vibe. And then we got coming up after that on the 26th. We're gonna have our Black Soiree. This is the 8th annual Black Soiree where we celebrate Black History Month through edutainment, entertainment, education. Come and party with us at the Burr Oak at 10 o'clock. Come on and vibe with us at the Burr Oak. It's kind of East Side Madison. Come on and catch a vibe with us on the 26th of February. We celebrate Black History Month all month. I appreciate the opportunity for you to come out and see us. So, it's there. And, we don't always get these opportunities. We're trying to build something sustainable here so you don't got to drive 45 minutes away to enjoy your space and enjoy, your culture. So come on and catch a vibe with us, add value, bring good vibes only. And, man, I love y'all. I got a lot of love for the show. Y'all doing amazing work individually, coming together. This is a big deal what you guys are doing. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to manifest this dream to be on the show.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Man, so y'all got places to be now. Y'all know where to go. Y'all got things to purchase as well. So we always want to send some people with their marching orders, before they leave, and books to read. Please continue to expand that knowledge. So for those who are catching this episode, if you miss some of these past episodes, you got to make sure you jump on that. From the cryptocurrency to the financial planning to the credit repair and predatory lending. I mean, we got all that. So you can make sure to hit us up. You can check out our link tree for Black Currency Podcast. That will get you interlinked with everything. We're also have the website at myradio22.com/Black Currency Podcast. You can hit us up on IG or Facebook at Black Currency Podcast. And we got all videos archived at youtube.com/radio22. Whew! That was a lot. I feel inspired, but more importantly,
yes,
I gotta start meditation.
Yes, you do. Yes,
I got to. I gotta make that happen. And I appreciate Martinez breaking that down for me. The encouragement on here. I mean, I got to now. I feel like I'd be letting y'all down if I didn't.
Let's get it. Let's get it, bro. Check out that app.
It'll bless you.
App.
It'll bless you. Yeah.
It'll bless you, bro. Opal no for sure. And
for sure.
It's not hard. It's not hard, and try for 8 weeks and then come up for air and see if you feel calmer, if you feel more in control, if you react less emotionally and aggressively, if you can find an assertive wavelength and not aggressive or underperformance. Just find that assertion. It's gonna push your business. It's gonna push your life forward. People gonna notice it. So then you gonna tell somebody else to meditate. They ain't gonna believe you. They gonna it ain't gonna work, bro.
Right?
Try it.
That's exactly what they're gonna say.
It's gonna work, bro. We need that in our lives. Meditation for ancestral connection. The one I like to do is where they say, envision your ancestors, standing around you and pouring into you. And the people that's on your advisory board, whether they dead or alive, they pouring into you. The best foot forward for them to get the dream accomplished.
Right.
I be saying, boy, Harriet tell me be pouring down in me, boy.
I'm gonna take it all.
Okay.
Hey,
yes.
Let's get it.
Man, that's what's up. Well, blessings. Thank you for your time. This is the Black Currency Podcast, and we out. Peace.
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 Ain't you sick of giving me your money?
I know he didn't do it, baby.
Whoa, where you going?
No, I'm about to go make these drop balls.